Welcome to your Tuesday, September 24, 2024 edition of the Evening News. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for joining us. Let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Government committed to fixing weaknesses in public financial system, says Accountant General. Reforms needed at UNSC to increase representation, says President Ali. President Ali meets Blinken on US-GUYANA relations. Political situation in Venezuela, Haiti crisis. Stakeholders push for Guyana to become LGBTQ plus friendly tourism destination. And mother of two accused of killing husband in 2017, freed. Now for the news in detail. Accountant General Jennifer Chapman has assured that the government remains committed to fixing the weaknesses often highlighted by the Audit Office of Guyana when it comes to public financial system. Gerald Bryan reports.
During the handing over of the Auditor General's 2023 report on Monday, Accountant General Jennifer Chapman highlighted the importance of the occasion. According to Chapman, the government will not shy away from implementing any recommendations made in the report when it comes to public finance. She noted that any weaknesses identified by the Auditor General gives them a chance to improve accountability and transparency.
This occasion today ensures that we continue to strengthen accountability across the public government agencies. His report, the Auditor General's report, highlights to us our weaknesses within the accounting system. However, those weaknesses we use to ensure that we improve accountability and transparency across government.
The Accountant General noted that they have a responsibility once public funds are being expended to ensure they are utilized in an accountable and transparent manner.
Public funds being spent, one of the pivotal characteristics of spending public funds is accountability and transparency. And we continue to ensure the Ministry of Finance, the Audit Office, and all the other accounting offices to ensure that we continue to strengthen the accounting system.
Following the consideration of the Auditor General's report and the Public Accounts Committee PAC's own report, the government will have to submit a Treasury memorandum. This includes a commitment in writing to either adopt or reject the AG's many findings and recommendations. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Guyana, which is currently a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, continues to advocate for reforms at the institution, with President Dr. Irfaan Ali saying that changes are necessary if the council is to remain relevant and credible.
On Monday, while addressing the Summit of the Future at the United Nations General Assembly, President Dr. Irfaan Ali spoke of the need for reform of global institutions. According to him, institutions must be more inclusive and geared towards the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs.
Our public policies and global strategies must be aligned, and our global institutions responsive. Outdated and broken global systems must be fixed. We must reform the international financial architecture and make it more inclusive and conducive to sustainable development for all. But sustainable development cannot flourish without peace and security.
One institution in particular came in for special attention from the President, that being the United Nations Security Council. Guyana is currently a non-permanent member of the Council, with its term set to last from January the 1st, 2024 to December the 31st, 2025. However, the permanent members of the Council, China, France, Russia, the United Kingdom, and the United States of America, are the only ones with veto power. There have been calls for at least 2 new permanent members from Africa to be added to the Council. Only last week, the United States had announced that it would throw its support behind this move. According to President Ali, the UNSC must become more representative.
We must end and prevent wars. The Security Council must also be reformed to be more representative, responsive, and democratic. If not, it will lose both its credibility and relevance. Excellencies, as we seek to create a fair and just world, we must focus on including all our people. No region, no country, or no group must be left behind.
Earlier this year, Guyana's permanent representative to the UN, Ambassador Caroline Rodriguez-Burkett, had described the lack of permanent representation for any small states or countries from Africa as an injustice. Guyana's uncontested election to the UNSC as a non-permanent member marks the third time it is serving on the Council, following terms in 1975 to 1976 and 1982 to 1983. Jai O'Brien, The Evening News.
The US $15.8 billion government office complex being constructed at Eccles on the east bank of Demerara is progressing at an acceptable pace, Minister of Public Works Juan Edgel has revealed in response to concerns raised by opposition members. Michael Henry tells us more.
Opposition Member of Parliament and former Minister of Public Infrastructure, David Patterson, recently conducted a visit of the Eccles East Bank Demerara site where the $15.8 billion government office complex is to be erected. Patterson complained about the lack of activity at the site. Moreover, opposition member Annette Ferguson has alleged that funds are being diverted from the project to construct a hotel. Public Works Minister Juan Edgel has since responded to the opposition's concerns and claims, outright rejecting the allegations from Ferguson. According to Edgel, not only is Ferguson's claims absurd, but it raises serious questions about the integrity of the opposition. With regards to the project itself, the Public Works Minister explained that majority of the works are currently being conducted off-site. He explained that as of September 2024, the project is 6% completed. In a statement on Tuesday, the ministry said 99% of all legal work has been done, almost all of the geotechnical investigations have been completed, 20 acres of land have already been cleared, site officers have been mobilized, and that sand filling is progressing. Minister Edgel noted too that the work completed thus far includes extensive off-site preparations, such as steel fabrication, which are essential for the timely construction of this modern facility. Minister Edgel emphasized that the current lack of visible activity on site does not indicate a slowdown. Rather, much of the work is currently off-site, with steel being fabricated in factories before being assembled on the location. The minister noted that this reflects the meticulous planning required for a project of this scale. When the contract was signed, a total of $2.6 billion was paid as the mobilization advance. The minister clarified that all other payments will be or are made based on measured deliverables. In fact, the minister assured that the project, being executed by Caribbean Green Building Incorporated, is on track for completing by August 23, 2026. The complex will feature 4 towers and is intended to consolidate several government agencies into one location. Michael Henry, The Evening News.
President of Guyana, Dr. Irfan Ali, and U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken reaffirmed their countries' strong partnership and commitment to regional security, democracy, and territorial integrity in a meeting held on Monday in New York. Secretary Blinken expressed gratitude for the growing cooperation between the two nations. Recalling his visit to Guyana, Blinken lauded the country's leadership within the Caribbean community and its critical role in addressing challenges in the region, particularly in Haiti. He also emphasized the United States' unwavering support for Guyana's territorial integrity, signaling continued collaboration on a broad range of regional issues. The political situation in Venezuela was also discussed. Meanwhile, Ali echoed similar sentiments, highlighting the shared values and commitment both countries have to democracy and the rule of law. The leader discussed ongoing bilateral efforts, including expanded trade, security cooperation, and the need to foster stability in the region. Coming up, Child's Rights Commission working to eliminate drug abuse among youths, and Chinese Medical Brigade to help improve services at regional health facilities, says Dr. Anthony. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Guys, I think I'm in love! Wow!
Yeah, I was looking at you too.
What? What are you talking about? I'm in the tiles. Where did you get them?
Oh, Mima Decor, obviously the best tile store in Guyana. Come, let me take you there.
My kitchen, my bathroom, my floors. Mima Decor has everything. And the prices are great too.
So, yeah, I want to have a date now.
We can build on that.
The Guyana Elections Commission GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31st, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Types of transactions. Anyone eligible for registration is required to visit the registration office responsible for his or her area of residence to apply for registration. Persons who are already registered could apply for a name change if they have changed their names since they were last registered. Apply for corrections if there is incorrect information on their national ID cards. Persons who are desirous of conducting any of the above transactions must provide the relevant supporting documents. Persons who are already registered could request that their photographs be retaken if the quality of the photographs on their ID cards is unacceptable. Collect their new ID cards if they have not done so as yet. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, please contact GCOM on the following hotline numbers: 225-027729, 226-6557, 223-9650, or visit the GCOM website at www.gcom.org.gr.
Did you know Guyoil Super 95 gasoline has an octane rating of 95, the highest rating available in Guyana? This premium fuel is known to enhance the performance of your engine, making it run smoother and more efficiently, leading to better fuel economy and improved performance. Choose Super 95 for more mileage and better overall performance.
No matter the state of your home, you can make it beautiful for any occasion.
NNS Mattai's Home Goods Warehouse. Simply better.
You can tell from the crowd who's up next. It's Premier's star player, whose world-class stats put him in a league of his own. Premier's rise to stardom has been one for the record books. The first team to get a GY A+ rating. They boast a strong solvency and A-class service. Ladies and gentlemen, you're witnessing Premier's financial and technical strength that is out of this world.
Premier insurance coverage for less.
The oil and gas industry is helping to transform safety standards across all sectors of Guyana. The government and industry leaders are pioneering safer offshore oil production with new legislation, updated policies, and state-of-the-art floating production, storage, and offloading vessels.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. A 23-year-old man was yesterday remanded to prison for allegedly stabbing a 9-year-old boy several times to the neck. Joshua Austin faces charges for allegedly attacking Justin Coley, a resident of Russell Street, Charlestown, Georgetown, on September 12. The incident reportedly took place on Broad Street, where Austin allegedly stabbed the child 7 times in the neck. Austin, who resides in Lodge Housing Scheme, Georgetown, appeared before Senior Magistrate Fabio Azor at the Georgetown Magistrates Court, where he denied the charges. Police reports state that both Austin and Coley are familiar with each other. On the evening of the attack, Coley was walking with his mother when Austin, seemingly aggravated, allegedly used a pair of scissors to carry out the assault. Following the attack, Coley was rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation for emergency treatment. Austin was arrested after the police received the report of the incident. His next court appearance is set for October 7. Meanwhile, 28-year-old Lisa Halley, formerly of Swan, Susdyke, Linden Highway, was today freed of a manslaughter charge by High Court Judge Peter Hugh due to insufficient evidence. The woman was on trial for the death of her husband, Dallison Halley. The state was represented by Mr. Mikel Puran, while the accused was represented by Mr. Damian De Silva. Among other things, Attorney De Silva submitted that the prosecution failed to prove that the accused unlawfully caused the death of the deceased, as they failed to disprove the reasonable possibility that the accused acted in self-defense. Several witnesses were called in the matter, but the prosecution's case relied on the evidence of an eyewitness and the accused's caution statement given to the police after the incident. Justice Hugh agreed with the no-case submission of the defense and directed the jury to return a formal verdict of not guilty. The charge alleged that the woman on July 29, 2017, unlawfully killed her husband at their Lot 30 Queen Street Kitty, Georgetown home. According to reports, the couple had been together for some time and had 2 children. Reports further stated that during the time, Lisa had been frequently abused. However, on the day in question, during an argument, the woman reportedly stabbed her husband. The man had reportedly armed himself with a knife and threatened to kill her. Lisa reportedly managed to gain control of the knife and used it to stab him. The injured man was taken to the Georgetown Public Hospital where he succumbed. We now tell you that the Rights of the Child Commission in Guyana has been working assiduously to eliminate drug and other forms of abuse among the country's youth population. As we hear in this Kelroy Williams report, the Commission is also dealing with the issue of corporal punishment.
The Rights of the Child Commission on Monday handed over its annual report to the Speaker of the National Assembly, Manzoor Nadir. This report, which details the work of the Commission over the year in review, will soon be tabled in the National Assembly. Without disclosing much details, Chairperson of the Commission, Alima Nazir, provided an overview of some of the issues affecting children that have been highlighted in the report.
We've been to all 10 regions of Guyana, and it is very, very distressing. Some areas where there's a lot of sexual abuse and incest and all these things that are happening in the areas, right? And in some areas where the children are not in school, they come in contact with the law and things like that. Another area which we concentrated on is the addiction to alcohol and drugs. And this is really, really a really terrible area, because in all the schools of Guyana, and I say this with confidence, each school there are children there who are doing drugs and alcohol, including the religious schools.
According to the chairperson, corporal punishment is another challenge outlined in the report.
When our report goes to Geneva, they really take us to task on the on our beaten our the corporal punishment. That's an area, and we have been dealing with that since inception, 2009, when we started working, and it's a challenge, and it's not getting any better, because our people feel that if you don't beat the child, they wouldn't learn.
But House Speaker had a different view when it comes to corporal punishment.
And so today, we're told about corporal punishment being so horrific. Every single day in America, there are at least 10 mass shootings every day by children. But they're lecturing us about sparing the rod. We're getting a lecture about that. Who lectures those in America about the little barbarians they're raising in their homes? Who lectures them?
The Rights of the Child Commission (RCC) is an independent quasi-governmental body with constitutional powers. The commission was granted jurisdiction to investigate and resolve complaints that violate and omit the rights and interests of the child, ensuring that every child's voice is heard on all levels in Guyana, in accordance with the Convention on Rights of the Child UNCRC articles. Kelroy Williams, The Evening News.
Noting that the country's tourism sector can benefit significantly from the global LGBTQ+ community, stakeholders are advocating for the legislative amendments in order to make Destination Guyana more accommodating to that segment of the population. Michael Henry has the story.
The campaign's message that all Guyanese should be treated with dignity and respect, and that our country's law need to be reformed to reflect these positive Guyanese values.
That was the president of the Tourism and Hospitality Association of Guyana Incorporated, D. George, advocating for the removal of laws criminalizing same-sex relationships in Guyana. According to George, the global tourism market for the LGBTQ+ community accounts for some $200 billion, and Guyana can capitalize on a fraction of this once homophobia is eradicated.
The global LGBTQ+ tourism market contributes over $200 billion annually to the travel industry. The US LGBTQ+ market alone spends $65 billion annually. Assuming Guyana can capture just 1% of the global LGBTQ+ travel market, this would translate to an estimated annual tourism revenue increase of $2 billion.
On this point, she highlighted the consequences that Guyana can face in tourism if the LGBTQ+ community is not included in the tourism market.
Globally, the LGBTQ+ tourism market accounts for approximately 7% to 10% of the total travel industry. By alienating this market segment, Guyana is not benefiting from a potentially high-spending, high-frequency demographic. By eliminating discriminatory laws targeting our gay and trans neighbors, friends and family, and tourists, Guyana can send a very strong signal that our welcome mat is out, rolled out, and stretched to the steps of the airplane that brings you, or even if you're at home. It's bright red, and you are welcome. Guyana has an opportunity to signal that we embrace and respect our LGBT family.
THAG, along with its partners in tourism and social advocacy, have since launched a campaign aimed at highlighting the importance of creating a safe and inclusive environment for all visitors, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity. Michelle Henry, The Evening News.
With several regional hospitals soon to be open to a bid to better serve the population, the government is envisioning that the Chinese Medical Brigade, which frequents Guyana, would be able to improve healthcare services at those facilities. Let's find out more from Trishelle Sobers.
The current agreement between the Guyana government and the Chinese Medical Brigade only allows one team of medical professionals from China to visit Guyana annually and engage in knowledge exchange with local doctors, nurses, and specialists in areas such as medical education, medicine research, public health, and preventative medicine. They are usually stationed at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, GPHC. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony explained that his administration is looking to ramp up the number of persons benefiting from the program by striking a new agreement which will see smaller teams from the brigade visiting the country more frequently instead of one large team per annum. The minister, who was at the time bidding farewell to the 19th Medical Brigade, highlighted that the move is part of efforts to ensure that medical care access at regional hospitals are on par with the level of care being offered at the Georgetown Public Hospital.
So one of the things that we look forward to, that when you're training people, you know, and the training that you provided, and maybe for the next batch of doctors that are coming in, is that we will also want to pull from the regions to make sure that they're exposed to some of these training, because very soon they'll have, you know, the environment in which to practice. So I think this is a very good collaboration. But we know you have other responsibilities, so we wouldn't want to make sure that you spend, you know, very long time away from your families and so forth. But one of the things that we might be able to consider is to have maybe short-term consultants coming in for shorter periods to do specific types of interventions. And maybe that might address some of the challenges that we have. But I think with your collaboration, the work that you have done, the quality of medicine that you have practiced have allowed us to really lift the bar in Guyana. And I think when I say that, I speak for all the professionals, you know, at the Georgetown Hospital.
Minister Anthony also indicated that government plans to collaborate with the Chinese Medical Brigade in other areas of interest, such as the manufacturing of pharmaceuticals.
We've also been looking at other possibilities because apart from, you know, the medical, like hospitals and treating patients and so forth, there are a number of other things that we can do that is related to medicine. So one of the things that we've been looking at, can we be able to now do some form of manufacturing? Can we be able to manufacture test kits, for example? Can we manufacture some devices? Can we manufacture pharmaceuticals? Can we manufacture vaccines? Because we saw that outside, during COVID, the challenges that we've had. And even now, with monkeypox in the DRC and the countries surrounding that, one of their biggest challenges is access to vaccines. They don't have enough. They don't have the resources to buy because it's quite expensive.
The first batch of Chinese Medical Brigade came to Guyana in 1993, according to the Protocol on Medical Cooperation, which was signed between the two nations on May 26 that year. Through the agreement inked between the two nations, Guyana has been able to significantly improve access to quality health care. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbor Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Wednesday, September 25, 2024 at 22:45 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Burbisford Bridge is scheduled to be closed to vehicular traffic at 10:40 on Wednesday, September 25, 2024, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
Let's now take a look at the local stock exchange market compliments of GASI. Kings demolished TKR by 80 runs and Guyana's female hockey team ties with Paraguay. These and more stories coming up in this evening's Sportcast, sponsored by Macor.